as usual, I can't behave myself. Don't know about y'all. Jamaica, stand up, please. It is your time. Matter of fact, I'm going to change things up a little bit. Let's start it like this. Let's see here. I'm going to go with this.
If soca get your life, soca get your vibe. If Carnival is on, then you not alone. If soca get your life, soca get your vibe. If Carnival is on, well, you not alone. I can't behave myself. I feel for woman and a rum and a 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 woman and a rum. All when I jump in with the friends, I can't behave myself. Soon as the music hit there, I can't behave myself. Go on the back and not the end, I can't behave myself. Soon as the music hit there, if soca get your life, soca get your vibe. If Carnival is on, then you not alone. If soca get your life, soca get your vibe. If Carnival is on,
Y'all already know. Welcome to the show, y'all. Soca Sunday. Your boy C.I.P. can never behave himself. This Sunday, we are in Jamaica. But before we get to Jamaica, we got to leave St. Lucia first. So we got a little bit of news from the island, a little bit of culture to share. When we leave St. Lucia, we're going to discover a little bit about the country of Jamaica itself, why it didn't join Canada. Canada? Yeah, why it didn't join Canada. As well as the wild history of Jamaica, the Maroons. The Maroons. You've heard me mention them on each of the respective islands. The true movement of resistance from slavery and captivity to freedom, the Maroons. And a little bit about how the British claimed the territory of Jamaica for themselves. Then we're going to jump over to IG. See what kind of debauchery we can get into. All right, y'all. Now, I can't go out with my intro not reflecting something of Jamaica. But I troll. It's a Dembow remix. Let's go. Sis, A-team, I'm ready for some stimulating content, CRP. I got you, sis. Let's go. go, y'all. Actually, before we get to that, intro. A little bit of culture, a little bit of entertainment. I think y'all gonna like this.
Ever since I was a kid, I've been legit. If I was you, I would cut up my wrist.
Who remembers growing up and being told, no man, you have to focus on one thing. You have to be one thing. Or, a jack of all trades is a master of none. The whole time they saying it wrong, because it was incomplete. The whole time it's, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. There are some people that are just innately great at a lot of different things, and they will be called in different seasons of their lives to use and purpose these gifts. And I have you know the time is now. We are in the era of the multi-hyphenate. We're in the era of the multi-talented, the multi-gifted. It's not just being one thing or doing one thing right now. Could get rough. It's rough. There's so many of you that's been taught to stuff down a very natural gift because it didn't look like society's goals. You know what I mean? But what is that thing that you're really good at, that you're naturally good at? That's a gift that you can use right now. Because right now we're all being called to use our gifts. And it doesn't mean that at one time in one season we just use all these things. No, it takes proper thought, planning, preparation, time management. But open your mind to the understanding that you have different gifts and they will be asked to be used in different seasons. There's a mentor I had around a few years ago. When we first started working together, every time I'd speak he'd say and it would piss me off. But the truth is I kept on saying or. And he's like, that is a limitation. Why are you acting like this and this can't coexist? I'm only pointing out your language and how often you say or, which is programming your mind to think one way. And so I implore you today, whatever you are doing in your life, and it. And you are more than one thing. You are more than capable. You can be everything you wanted to ever be. And if in this season of your life you want to do this, fine. And the next 20 years from now, you could be doing something totally different on the other end of the spectrum, and that is okay. Big up to my multi-hyphenates, right? That's just always had a knack for different things and felt confused and felt anxious when people try to box them in. No, right now, this new era of life is calling for all of your gifts. Use up all of them.
Tell me how the fuck am I not supposed to whine on that? How the fuck am I not supposed to grind on that? How the fuck am I not supposed to jam on that? How the fuck?
You have your man, you have an ex-man, you have a other man, and another man.
Thing more on them feel understood. When girl good. If you sit up, you should have.
Lit ass bitch, step inside me, pop shit. Blast fuck, niggas want that motion. I be in the cut, sneaky link. She say that's her nigga, I don't give a fuck.
Got you outside and inside when I saw you at the party and I had to say hi.
Skin bright, and me are your type. I want sun shine, yeah, the hottest thing we outside.
You are the cutest, I feel the boss. Love you from the start, no I broke your heart. Wine bubble bath, cause you're pretty and you're smart. Anyway you roll up, this a vibe start when you
open it like a Red Sea, I get parked. Stop it and take it anywhere the car park. You are the general, you never fast start. Bravo, see what push them, your man a push a hand cat.
bounce with the gal. Move with the gal. Wine pan it, gal. Take time pan it, gal.
Gotta have a favorite.
Sensational.
Wow. I impress myself sometimes. Soca Sunday, y'all. Let's go. I see y'all out there, 18. What's good, sis? Yeah, shake it to the max, sis. Tevin King, I see you. Matt, I see you as well, bro. Gentlemen.
Real bad man.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Sakafet to all my beautiful people. Salutations, salute everyone all over the world. More than anything, this Sunday, Jamrock, stand up. Jamrock, this is all about you. Let's go. So, we gotta leave St. Lucia first though, okay? We gotta leave my home planet and we heading for yours. Once we get to Jamaica, y'all gonna know. We're gonna get right into it here shortly. Let's see. Oh, we do, as always, have some paperwork, all right? So pause on the music for just a moment. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. My subscribers, y'all, I love you. And you know what? You are here for a reason.
God, don't make no mistakes. You ain't said nothing slick to a can of oil.
Thank you, and I thank the good people of Nepal. You don't even know what you did, but you're brilliant anyway, because the brilliance is the best brilliance is brilliance born not from someone ignorant.
Yeah. Each and every one of you, I love y'all for being here. Thank you so much. To the new folks, Cloud Watchers, I know you out there. You're wondering, you're saying, what's up with Jamaica today over here? Who this dude? Subscribe. Just go on and subscribe. This is my social commentary channel. This is where I celebrate everything that goes on in the Caribbean as well. This is where I celebrate my adventures day to day. And again, social commentary. So there's a lot of social commentary over here. I'm very opinionated in my age. I also have a second channel, Culture in Paradise. That's where I'm going to put more of the lifestyle stuff, more of the travel stuff, more of the stuff dedicated to life adventures. Then I have my third channel, video games. If you like the game, stop by my third channel, Cat in Poncho, right? Each of the channels start with C.I.P. It all stays with the brand. Nightbot will be in the comments. Nightbot will be in the chat with y'all. Pay attention to Nightbot. Nightbot will guide you along the way. All the links to all the channels. Rumble's on there. By the way, we kicking now too. So we on Kick. I think, you know what? I might have, why is it doing double Rumbles I'm seeing here? Maybe it's because of how I'm seeing it on my side. I might not have added Kick to Nightbot yet. So we'll get to that in the future, but I am on Kick. Here we go. Easy enough. Hit your boy up on Kick as well. Go on and subscribe over there as well. I like Kick a whole lot better than I like Rumble. That's just my thing. All right? A lot of people are moving over to Rumble. Rumble's all right. Kick, all I did was sign in, log in, set up my account, and I was streaming on Kick with no problems whatsoever. So I'm almost certain I'm going to be setting up a second and third Kick for my other two channels. So go subscribe. Culture in Paradise. Cat and Poncho Gaming. I know my words. Cat and Poncho Gaming. And then, of course, here, the social commentary channel. Culture Invasion Podcast. Team Replay, go back, catch that opening montage. Y'all ready to get this going? Let's go. Man, let me tell y'all, we're going to stop off in St. Lucia first. Okay, we're going to stop off in St. Lucia first. I got some great news about our current Carnival Queen. And we're not going to talk about, well, we may later. We're not going to talk about the current Carnival Queen court. Go back and catch my last episode. In the last couple episodes, I've been highlighting what's been going on with Carnival on the island. So as they're ramping up and preparing for everything. So let's go back to St. Lucia. Give me 1 second. Split screens here. All right. Miss Emily. So Miss Emily has left the island and gone on to additional competitions. And where she is now is, I do believe, Saint Martin. Yes, Saint Martin. And she competed in the Caribbean Carnival Queen pageant. Carnival Caribbean Queen pageant. Words. We're flipping words around. So Carnival Caribbean Queen, the top. So all the Carnival Queens get together from each of the respective islands throughout the Caribbean. This is the finals of all of the queens. And as is a popular number, 8. 8 is the magic number. So out of 8 contestants, let's hear how things went for Miss Emily. And I'm going to get myself out of the picture. There we go. Little off to the side. There we go.
A show-stopping performance on the regional stage by St. Lucia's 2025 Carnival Queen, Emily Tissot, has propelled her to new heights in pageantry, delivering jaw-dropping talent and striking ensembles with regal flair. Tissot, on April 15th, captured the crown and title of Miss Carnival Caribbean Queen 2026 in St. Martin.
Caribbean Queen is none other than your contestant, #1, Miss St. Lucia, Emily Tissot.
The crowd's rapturous applause signaled clear agreement with the judges' decision as they faced the difficult task of selecting a winner from a strong field of the Caribbean's top pageant talent. Following her momentous victory, Tissot was welcomed home in grand style by the St. Lucia Carnival Planning and Management Committee. She expressed her gratitude and pride in representing the nation.
This moment still feels so surreal. I am really excited and I'm also really honored that I got the opportunity to represent my country on this regional platform. And I'm also really excited that I brought the crown back home as well.
Alright, nice. A lot of as evidence in the comments, you would have gotten a lot of support from St. Lucians.
Yes.
How did that feel and what was that moment?
I was emotional every day. I got so many messages.
She's absolutely gorgeous, y'all. Absolutely gorgeous.
I saw the comments, I saw all the reposts, and that made me feel really, really thankful for all the support that I received from not only my family, but St. Lucia on a whole. Well, now I have a regional platform, so I hope to use this platform to inspire others and also to inspire the younger queens in St. Lucia and across the region as well.
Wonderful. And to any young lady who is looking up to Emily Tissot right now, what would you say to them?
To any young lady looking up to me, I would say go out there, focus on yourself, achieve your dreams. Nothing is too big. And I mean, once you're disciplined, there's sacrifices as well. You could do anything that you put your mind to.
There was no shortage of talent on stage Wednesday night as Tissot competed against 8 other queens. Confident and poised, she delivered across all segments, commanding attention in a radiant purple 2-piece swimwear presentation, captivating the audience with her theatrical talent performance, and dazzling in African-inspired evening wear. She sealed her victory with a strong showing in the question and answer segment, highlighting both intellect and composure.
The theme of the pageant is Queens of Sun and Soil. In a region as diverse as the Caribbean, how can young women help protect our cultural roots while also bringing a diverse people together?
When I hear the theme of Queens of Sun and Soil, to me it means women of different backgrounds, women from different countries coming together, not just to showcase beauty, but to showcase culture, their intelligence, and what they are made of.
There we go.
As a nation, as a region, young ladies need to understand that our resilience, our creativity, our language is not limitations, but instead it's our foundation. As a nation, we need to come together to create different campaigns in communities and across the region where we teach young girls how to embrace culture and celebrate culture, and culture should not be hidden. Government should also implement programs in schools to teach people of all ages of what our culture really means. Culture.
Now I'm going to let her cook, but we are going to talk about culture and language specifically in the next React following Emily as we leave St. Lucia. So stay tuned to this very good segue. Thank you so much, Emily, for a wonderful speech that you just started there and I interrupted so rudely. Let's go, y'all.
Is who we are. It is our identity. So as a region, as one Caribbean, let's come together, embrace our culture, make a better future for the rest of the generation. Thank you.
Tissot has made history as the first St. Lucian to win the regional title. Chairperson of the Carnival Planning and Management Committee, Tamara Gibson, expressed profound pride in the achievement.
She really gave St. Lucia great representation last night. It was really encouraging to see St. Lucians.
Look at Miss Gibson dressed down. Miss Gibson, look at you.
Supporting her. Her representation, I would say, was flawless, and I think is a well-deserved crown. This couldn't happen at a better time for us, seeing that we just had our sashing ceremony for the 9 delegates for 2026 last week, and it's very encouraging. Some of the contestants were together last night to watch her perform, and they were very excited and encouraged by what they saw.
The win now stands as a proud moment for St. Lucia as Tissot's triumph shines brightly across the region.
You go, girl. Representing for the island. Yes, let's go. Now, 8 minutes, a little 8-minute react here. Speaking of the island, we're going to talk about what she spoke on, which is culture, right? And in this case, we're going to talk about the language, Creole. So they determined in the prime minister made a statement, and they determined that they were going to institute Creole back in all of the schools so that the culture and roots of our people are maintained. Now, because there's still people that only speak patois, that only speak the Old Creole. So this story is actually coming to us from a collaboration with one of our sister countries, Taiwan. Taiwan interviewed Mr. Robert Kennedy Lewis, as you see here on screen, the ambassador. So let's get into it.
How distinct and different is the Creole language in St. Lucia compared to the rest of the Caribbean?
Well, first of all, Creole in St. Lucia, and you realize we don't call it Creole, they call it Creole, because it's a French-based Creole. So you always say Creole, but if somebody says Creole, we understand it because in Barbados they have their own Creole language, which is mainly English, but of different way. So in the Caribbean, there are about the main countries that speak that French-based Creole is Haiti, Martinique, Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, Dominica, and French Guyana that you call Cayenne, and that's on the South American continent. Now, even among the Haitians, St. Lucians, Dominicans, there are slight variations. But you would want to think that Dominica and St. Lucia are probably the closest in terms of speaking the same.
Yes.
I most likely will understand everything a Dominican says, every word
the dialects.
Dominican says in
the dialects
Creole,
are very, very close.
Compared to if I'm listening to a Haitian,
right.
There might be one or two words. I understand the context of what he's saying, but a word might be different.
Now, I'm going to recap that for just a moment because the question was asked here on the channel as well when I was talking about the language itself, the Creole language itself. Oh, you guys, check this out. Check this out, y'all. I got my books. Okay? This one I've already started reading through. I don't know why I started with just the phrase book. I think it's because you hear the phrase. I hear the phrases so much and I hear the short sentences so much that in very chopped format, mixed in with English, so kind of like a Creole-ish. It's while I'm speaking with Auntie, so she breaks up her English and she thinks with both minds, right? You'll hear a lot of elders that'll do that when they're talking. So I started going through this one first. I'll get back to the basics in a minute, but I did get my books. They're awesome, by the way. And Swar she's a great writer. I understand exactly her approach. There she is on the back. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Hit me up if you want to know about these books. Swar Smith wrote these. They are available on Amazon. Introduction to Creole St. Lucie and the St. Lucian Creole Phrase Book. All right? All right.
Thing a Dominican says, every word the Dominican says in Creole, compared to if I'm listening to a Haitian, there might be one or two words. I understand the context of what he's saying,
right?
But a word might be different. And you'd appreciate just to say that the Creole is really a matter of the French-based language, but with some West African influences. And therefore, there are times also you can't find a word, the French, they will have an English word in there. But the point is, it's a mixture of languages. Spanish could be there also. We really don't know the full extent of all of it. But in each island, there are slight variations. But the countries that are principally French, like Haiti, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and French Guyana, their Creole is closer to the French.
What role does Creole play in the daily lives of St. Lucia, and why is its recognition important?
Very good question. But if we just have to go back a bit, if I go back at least the 1960s, when majority of the people in St. Lucia spoke Creole. So, for example, my father...
And this is just very, very recently, 1960s. So you think about 1960s, 1970s America, 1960s here, the majority of the individuals weren't speaking English. They were speaking Creole.
Who was born in the 1930s, or my grandmother who was born in, that's my paternal grandmother, who was born in the 1915s.
Yes.
They came through, and up to about 1980 when my grandmother was alive, she can't speak English. She understands how are you and good morning. But if you want a conversation with that generation, you had to speak mainly Creole to them. And again, it had to do with education. If they didn't get an education, which they did not get,
yes,
the language which they conversed in was Creole. And therefore, it was very important that you understand Creole because you had to be speaking to your grandparents.
And just from a cultural perspective, up until the 1960s, the majority of the people were not getting educated. They were farmers, they were laborers.
Parents, most of us had to speak to our grandparents in Creole because while we had an education to get to speak English, they didn't. And you can understand why, especially in St. Lucia. The change between the French and the English, 14 times, 7 times French, 7 times English. St. Lucian younger children of the 1880s after emancipation, most of them didn't get an opportunity to go to school, so they had to speak the language Creole. And the language Creole, of course, is always said that it is a language of resistance because it was a language that the slaves spoke when they didn't want the masters, especially the French or the English, to understand. So it's really important that Creole was what really dominated the lives of the people. I can tell you, I went to the doctor with my grandmother, and I have to be an interpreter between the doctor and herself.
Yes.
Because while the doctor is an English doctor from the UK or from Canada, he or she asked the question, and my grandmother, I will have to translate between them. So it was very important. Even in the 70s, the radio became very important, that Creole was spoken extensively on the radio because these people, there was a huge audience for people to listen to that. So Creole is very important. Even the courts, when the people went to court, they cannot speak English, so you had to have an interpreter between what the magistrate or what the lawyers were asking and what let's say the person was a Creole speaker who couldn't speak English, he had to have an interpreter. So all that is important because it affected the daily lives of the people. They had to speak in Creole because they did not know English.
So that's why I feel like, why do you think that the recognition of Creole in St. Lucia is very important?
Very important. I mean, now with majority of the young St. Lucians, I mean, from the 1970s, almost everybody has an opportunity to go to school to speak English. So Creole is not dependent upon so much for people to express themselves, but you need to preserve it because it's your culture.
Yes.
So much so the government in the 1990s, especially 1997, allowed Creole to become part of what happens in Parliament.
In Parliament.
So a parliamentarian can speak Creole, but he ought to at least interpret what he would have said in Creole, in English, because of course he's speaking to a number of people. But Creole was allowed in the Parliament, and it's also allowed, as I said, in the courts. So there is a move in St. Lucia, has been a move for the last 30 years or more, to begin to reincorporate Creole into the daily lives of people, and especially as we celebrate issues like Journée Creole, which is the last Sunday of every month. Of October, sorry, not every month. The last Sunday every year in October.
So how is the government of St. Lucia planning to support the integration of Creole into its official settings, such as elementary schools, judiciary? So what are the steps being taken by the government so far?
Right. So because we realize that if you do not teach the younger generation a language, if they don't practice it at home, you will lose the language. So the government has begun encouraging Creole speaking, And we've introduced Creole speaking into our elementary school. So from kindergarten, we begin now to have conversations in Creole. Of course, while it is written, but it's not where the written aspect that is emphasized at that young age. It is the oral tradition. So yes, the government has ensured that Creole is taught at the kindergarten level, and not just kindergarten, but up at grade 1, grade 2, so that students can begin to speak the
3 a.m.,
language.
what's good,
So
bro?
that's one way the government does it. Another way the government will do it is by encouraging government programs in Creole to disseminate information to the people. I mean, there still might be about 5%, could be, I'm not quite sure, but there could be about 5% of St. Lucians who still depend on Creole entirely.
That's a good number for me to look up. Find out how many there actually are that are full Creole speakers, just out of nerd curiosity. Y'all know how your boy C.I.P's mind works.
Who will have
As we get to Jamaica, too, and we go into the story of the Maroons, I'm wondering, too, well, they mentioned some of that in the video, if descendants of Maroons still exist where they live on the island, right? If there's descendants of Tainos still on the islands, right? Rumor has it there are still clutches within villages of descendants, so or individuals who have tighter DNA. So it's always good to see how how our ancestors have persevered through history, through colonization to today. There you go. I summed it up.
Problems understanding if you're trying to discuss an issue with them in English. So the government realized that they have to disseminate information to these persons, but they have to do it through Creole news, through Creole information. And even in the parliament, if you go to the St. Lucian Parliament or you listen to the St. Lucian Parliament, you will see the moderators, one person speaking English, one person speaking Creole. So people who are following at home, they can tell them what exactly is happening.
Yep. Diaspora is also off the island, right? So the diaspora that may be older, that may have a richer Creole knowledge instead of the language where they are at, the local language, they will also be able to understand and consume the parliamentary hearings. So shout out. Yes. As I mentioned, we're leaving St. Lucia. We're heading to Jamaica. Now, a word of correction here. Your boy C.I.P. is going to correct something. Help me out here, everyone. And Jamaicans, as you stop by, as you subscribe, as you hang out, feel free to leave a comment as well, especially if you have a historical mind and a historical perspective on the language of the Arawak, okay, the Taino language. So it looks like here, your boy C.I.P. may have been well misinformed by sources across social media, right? Which isn't unusual. We all are gaining bits and pieces of information. It's not always current. It's not always correct. Some of it's even AI generated, so we have to be careful. The Arawak language spoken by the Tainos survives in many words, such as hammock, hurricane, tobacco, barbecue. We've talked about these here on this channel before. And canoe, right? Canoe. The word Jamaica actually derives from the Arawak word X-A-Y-M-A-C-A, spelled X-A-Y-M-A-C-A. The X has the pronunciation in the Taino language of she. It's Shimeka. It's S-H-I, pronunciation of S-H-I. She. So it's Shimeka. Not ya, not ja. It's she. Blew my mind. It's she. It's a sharp S, meaning land of wood and water. All right? So shout out to your boy C.I.P. Pardon me. This information comes to us from the Embassy of Jamaica. All right. So if the Embassy of Jamaica is incorrect in their own history, Jamaicans, please help your people out. I think we got it right. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good over here. Shimika. Your boy C.I.P.'s learning, right? I'm learning. That's what this is all about. This is all about learning my history, learning my culture, learning my people, my cousins, my ancestors. So to kick this off, we start off with a short from the YouTube space. Let's see what Sis is talking about here. She's talking about a whole lot. Let's hear what she's talking about. Let's go.
The ignorance of black history in the former colonies is not by chance, it's by design. See, what a lot of us don't realize is that when the British agreed to grant us independence, they did so under certain conditions. They left their governments and education systems in place, and for many, many years, our textbooks were written and published in Britain and sent to the former colonies to educate us. And so the education that we receive in public schools have been largely influenced and at times directed by our former colonial masters. It's only when we get outside of the public school system, when we go to university, for example, or when we embark on independent study, it's when we find information outside of that carefully crafted history that is taught to us in public schools. Majority of the population don't go to university. When they graduate from the public school system, that's the knowledge and the information that they have. And if you don't know...
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is a major sticking point that was a revelation of my own just within the last year, that colonial era institutional values still rule the education system on a lot of these islands. They haven't gone through a reformation of their education system yet. Individual for the island, guided by the island's own independence and perspective on keeping these children educated in an ever-changing world. Technology is doing donuts around these islands, and these educators are woefully inequipped for the changes that the world is seeing outside of those islands. So be mindful, you guys, be mindful. I think it's something that should definitely be examined more critically. And I think that there are certain foundational pieces of pride that need to be broken down in order for the entire island respectively, right, to succeed and evolve. We got AI knocking on our doors, people. Step it up. Step it up. Yeah, man. Shout out to the Jamaican cousins. What's good, cuzzo?
Real bad man.
How you doing, man? FDNHT Trin in the house. All right, cuzzo. Next up, we keeping it moving this afternoon because there's a lot. There's a lot. And your boy C.I.P. can't shut up. You guys know I always got input. I'm learning as we go along, and little pieces of information that I know are starting to fall together as puzzle pieces. So I'm loving everything that we doing here together each and every Soca Sunday, y'all. Let's go. All right, so what's up next? Did you know that Jamaica and Canada had a relationship at one time, and there was this big discussion about if Jamaica as a colony should be Canadian Hawaii. So let's examine this together, y'all. I just found this out while I was doing my research. As always, your boy nerding out. I found little bits and pieces. History Matters. History Matters is the channel. History Matters is pretty cool. I hope they are not a oddball sanctioned channel that's going to have some kind of repercussion during this stream. Fair use, as always. Go check out History Matters, you guys. I'm going to pop them up in the chat, throw them their roses, and respect to them. Many different dimensions to our history. Infomercial style, kind of animated, fun, easy to consume, very good voice that helps it all kind of make sense. All right. So go check them out. It aims to help students studying for A levels, GCSE, S, and AP Euro history. So this is actually aimed towards students, Euro side of things. Anyway, as we know, the Euros are definitely responsible for some colonization. So let's get into this, y'all. H-Mob, what's good, bro? Good to see you. We're doing some culture, and knowledge today. Culture, knowledge, entertainment every day. I'm live. But today we're doing the culture. We just left St. Lucia. We are on our way to Jamaica. And we got some fun things to find out about that beautiful island that we know so much about. Well, a lot of people just know about Bob Marley. But those of us that know so much about it and its history, its rich history, we about to get our wigs blown back. This is some good stuff. All right, so here we go. I'm going to shut up.
Jamaica is not a part of Canada. Seems obvious, but there have been a couple of points in history where a union between the two has been proposed.
Yes.
The same is also true for the rest of Britain's former colonies in the Caribbean, where the same idea was put forward in the 1960s. So why didn't it happen? Why isn't Jamaica or any of these countries a part of Canada? So, in the 19th century, there were some small-scale discussions on who should be able to join the brand new Canadian Confederation. Britain was fairly neutral on whether or not its Caribbean territories would be run from London or Ottawa. This was because a colony of a colony is still really a colony, and also Britain's attention was much more focused on India, because money. This discussion was mostly academic though until after the First World War. At this point, Britain was struggling with being broke. As such, British Prime Minister David Lloyd George wanted to consolidate the governments of some colonies to make things cheaper. And one such proposal was that Canada, which was much less bankrupt, would run the Empire's Caribbean colonies. But Canada's Prime Minister, Robert Borden, declined. Not because he didn't want the islands. He definitely did, mostly as compensation for all of the world warring that Canada had been doing. He reluctantly declined, though, because the Canadian people opposed it. Many of whom, including the opposition, saw empire as the reason why Canada had been dragged into the conflict in the first place. And as such, Jamaica remained under the control of London. During World War II, Britain's relationship with its Caribbean colonies became strained. And as a result, Canada filled the void and relations between the two improved. The British government could see that its empire was unravelling, and so it opted to begin the process of preparing the Caribbean for independence. It did this with the least effort possible in what's known as boilerplate independence. This is where Britain used a one-size-fits...
So does that look familiar? One-size-fits-all independence for the Caribbean?
In what's known as boilerplate independence. This is...
Look at that. Look at the names they called out. Any foreign nation, right? And then you have Jamaica, Belize, Trinidad, and that other one.
Is where Britain used a one-size-fits-all approach to decolonisation. Britain didn't want to repeat this process 10 times, and so it just merged all of its Caribbean colonies together to form the West Indies Federation. During this process, it was discussed whether or not they would become independent or simply join Canada.
And mind you, you got St. Lucia down there too, right? All of us were in this together. All of us were in this colonization struggle together, you guys.
Federation. During this process, it was discussed whether or not they would become independent or simply join Canada as a single province. Some of the islands were pro-Canada, and others, notably Jamaica, were pro-independence. The leaders of the Federation couldn't agree on basically anything, and so it fractured in 1962, and one by one each part became independent. And so after their freedom, surely there was no desire for any of these countries to join Canada, right? Well, there were two. The first was British Honduras, whose interest was much more about Britain doing a terrible job at preparing it for independence than any real desire to join another nation. Honduras and its neighbour Guatemala had many disagreements on borders, access to the sea, and trade. And Britain didn't care enough to fix any of these problems, which is why some politicians in Honduras pushed to join Canada. This never went anywhere, and British Honduras gained full independence as Belize in 1981. The second was the Turks and Caicos Islands here. The people who lived there wanted much better access to other markets and countries for themselves and for their goods. But Britain was in a no foreigners please kind of mood, and so politicians there discussed the idea of joining Canada. This proposal gained steam until the 1980s, when some prominent Canadian politicians backed the idea and official talks between the two took place. Most of the islanders backed joining Canada, but the Canadian people were very focused on another divisive issue at home: a free trade agreement with the United States. This debate raged for years and was so important to Canadians that nobody had any desire to discuss grabbing a few Caribbean islands and what that would entail. And given that this debate took about a decade to settle down, the idea of annexing a Caribbean island just sort of faded, leaving Canada without a Hawaii of its own. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and a special thanks to my patrons: James Bisonet, Kelly Moneymaker, Sky Chappelle, Corsha Wolf, Jerry Lambden, Jordan Longley, Adam Stalter, Marcus R.
Colonizers colonizing. So our buddy here does have a Patreon as well. Please go subscribe to the channel. Again, this is History Matters. I highly encourage you guys to go check them out. They are now a friend of the show. If they like it or not, they're a friend of the show. Your boy C.I.P. does Blurred Out, and I love nerding out to information about our history. The Caribbean is who I am. It is part of my DNA. It is part of my lineage. It is part of my ancestry. It is who I am. I will never, ever let a colonizer, or white or black, colonizer aligned, take that from me and strip away my history and replace it with some AI slop or some watered down paper genocide. I will seek the knowledge myself, and I encourage each and every one of you to do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Mo, what's good, sis? What's good, girl? How you doing? Shake it to the max, girl. Shake it to the max. How you doing? Yes, absolutely, sis. Mr. Robert Nesta was definitely going to be on the thumbnail. We know his story, his history. Many of us have grown up even in the colonized spaces on campuses across the United States with tapestries of Bob Marley hung on dorm rooms of middle America white kids smoking weed. We know who Bob Marley is. So we're not here to celebrate Bob. He and of himself. His message remains and resonates as who we are as people across this globe. And if you know his messages, if you understand the words that he speaks, then you know. So there's no need to celebrate the king today. Real bad man. No need to celebrate the king today. Today we are celebrating the island of Jamaica itself, its history, little tidbits of fun pieces of its history. And then your boy C.I.P. is going to, of course, go to IG. We're going to go to IG and we're going to take a look at all the unholy happenings from Jamaican Carnival that just passed. So let's go. Woo, girl. She says, yes, I remember paying $100 on a pay-per-view to watch his last live concert on the motherland. I love it. All right, that was DJ Love. Let me tell you what, that mix right there was solid. That mix right there was solid. DJ Love, man, right from the island of Jamaica. Bro, I'm going to wind that back, man. Selecta, let's go. We winding that back. Let's go. This mix was just too lit. Great background music. DJ Love, man. Good shit. All right. So let's go. What's next? History Matters. Great page, you guys. Go check them out. All right. Not the main event, but this is going to put a nice cap on the history. All right. We're going to put a cap on all the history and round everything off with a very good story of the Maroons, the first independent British Caribbean colony, Jamaica. So this is, it gets kind of deep. It's history. Nothing in history is beautiful. We romanticize so much of it, and we want to just put this sheen of success story after success story. Those success stories were built on tragedy and a lot broader than I think people really care to acknowledge. There are certain philosophers and very well-educated individuals, more educated than myself. Shout out to them, right? Shout out to them. Respect, big respect, because I know something they don't know. They know a lot that I don't know, right? That is how we exchange information and we grow. But there are certain individuals, like What If Altist, you know, he says we're a nation built on economics, not built on the backs of others. It's the economics behind it. I get it. And I get it. But I have to ask, at what cost? Because when you look at the cycle of human colonization and you look at the cycles of industry, certain things in the end, well, where we are with modern day, could definitely have been handled a lot differently. And I think that there's a little bit more than just humans being short-sighted. There's a lot of just plain and simple cruelty and just absolute destruction at play here within the human behaviors. But we'll let that go. We'll let the story we'll let the story speak for itself. We'll let the story speak for itself. Let the history speak for itself. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I encourage you to go out and learn more. Seek knowledge, right? I always talk about that here on this channel. Nothing in our lives is true, and everything is permitted. Everything is permitted. You have everything available to you. You have every right and freedom to go seek knowledge, to balance what it is that you consume. The scrolling through the shorts and the vlogs is not the answer, okay? Seek knowledge and evolve. The world around us is not an absolute reality. What you choose to explore is your reality. So if you limit yourself to just bullshit, that's all you'll experience. That's all you'll know, okay? What you limit yourself to and experience is your own responsibility. I ask everyone to choose wisely. All right? Choose wisely. Let's get into this. History of Jamaica.
Welcome to the land of wood and water, known to the Taino as Jamaica, or as the English like to call it, Jamaica.
Now, he pronounced the X, Zai. Per the dialogue definition of the X, it should be S-H-I with a almost a J sound to it. So I need someone smarter than me in dialects, someone who is familiar with the Taino language, to please pronounce Jamaica for me. Thank you.
Jamaica means land of wood and water. The Taino farmed cassava, fished, and invented hammocks. Jamaica is a Caribbean island nation located in the Greater Antilles and the third largest island in the Caribbean after Cuba and Hispaniola, just south of Cuba and west of Hispaniola. In 1494, Columbus claimed Jamaica for Spain, but the island had no gold. The Spanish shrugged and settled for enslaving people instead. Disease and violence wiped out most of the Taínos within a generation. Between 1509 to 1655, the Spanish brought...
Pause. Your boy C.I.P. is slipping. Your boy C.I.P. is absolutely slipping. Boo! Throw tomatoes in the chat at your boy C.I.P. if you would so kindly. Because I'm tripping. I take accountability. I'm tripping. Boom. Right there in the chat, you now have the link to Island Revolts. Island Revolts, these are animated video takes that take us on fast-paced, witty rides through the history of the Caribbean islands from pre-Columbian times to independence or regime change. All right? Colonization. Let's learn a little bit something from the brother. Go subscribe, please. And forgive me for not providing his link ahead of time, as well as throwing him some respect. Bro, you are now a friend of the channel. I'm going to, this is not my regular browser, but I'm already subscribed to you. I'm going to go on and put your information in my resources, and we're going to keep up with you as we explore the other islands. Thank you so much for your contribution and what you do as a creator.
Brought Africans to replace the dying Taino population. Many escaped to the hills, forming maroon communities. From there, they raided plantations and built free villages in the mountains. Some early Africans in Spanish Jamaica may have been black Moors from Iberia, but the majority were enslaved West Africans brought directly through the transatlantic trade. These early Africans helped form the roots of maroon communities once the Spanish lost control. The Spanish used cimarron to mean escaped enslaved Africans who fled into the mountains. Originally, it meant wild or untamed, applied to runaway livestock that went back into the hills. In the 1600s, French speakers shortened cimarron to marron, same meaning, runaway, wild. Since France and Spain were both all over the Caribbean, the term spread. The English borrowed it as maroon. In 1655, the English invaded and kicked out the Spanish. They renamed the island Jamaica, meaning land of wood and water. The Maroons called it land where we keep embarrassing empires.
Right.
Unlike some Caribbean islands renamed completely, like Hispaniola or Puerto Rico, Jamaica kept its original Taíno name. After the English seized Jamaica in 1655, they turned Port Royal into the busiest port in the Caribbean and the wildest. Merchants, pirates, and privateers drank, gambled, and fought in the streets. It was called the wickedest city on earth. Then, in 1692, the earth itself had enough. A massive earthquake struck, turning solid ground into quicksand. In minutes, 2/3 of Port Royal sank into the ocean. Over 2,000 people vanished beneath the waves. Port Royal went from wickedest city on earth to the Caribbean's most exclusive underwater resort, overnight. Between 1600 to 1700, sugar became the island's gold. Plantations spread like wildfire, fueled by the brutal labor of enslaved Africans. But resistance was constant. Poisonings, slowdowns, and sabotage. The British planters and the members of the militia were becoming more aggressive towards the Maroons. Some of the rebel slaves disappeared into the mountains and joined the Maroon community.
Okay, I know that bro used these with the assistance of AI, but is that a drone in the sky behind that maroon? That marooner? Is that a drone in the sky? I'm just laughing to myself because I never mind. I think it's kind of funny though. Let's go.
Communities. The Maroons were communities of Africans who escaped slavery during the Spanish and later British rule. They set up free villages deep in the mountains and forests of Jamaica. Think of them as freedom fighters with the best natural fortress, steep hills, dense bush, and hidden trails only they knew. They weren't just hiding, they were raiding plantations, freeing other enslaved people and making life difficult for colonial authorities. Basically, they were living proof that slavery could be resisted. As the Maroon population grew, the Jamaican government decided to defeat the Maroons once and for all. They were seen as a constant threat by the government. In 1728 to 1739/40, the Maroon War begins. The Maroons, led in the west by Cudjoe and in the east by Queen Nani, fought Britain for over a decade. Guerrilla warfare from the hills left redcoats dizzy and mosquito-bitten. Britain thought they were fighting one rebellion. Instead, they got a 2-for-1 deal. Cudjoe in the west with his treaties, and Queen Nani in the east with her ambushes. Talk about a buy-one-get-one nightmare. Cudjoe was more of the political, military negotiator. His base was in Trelawney Town. Cudjoe signed the paperwork when Britain finally threw in the towel. Queen Nani was legendary for her guerrilla tactics and spiritual aura. Both names became immortal, so sometimes they're mentioned as if they led the same side, but really they led two different halves of the same struggle. In the end, Britain signed peace treaties. Maroons got land, Britain got peace, sort of. In 1760, an Akan chief named Tacky led one of the largest Caribbean uprisings. Enslaved people seized plantations and fought for months before it was crushed. His name became Legend Tacky, leader of the rebellion, was originally from the Fante ethnic group in West Africa, and had been a paramount chief in Aguafo, in the central region of present-day Ghana. As king, Tacky recalled selling prisoners of war of his rivals of the Ashanti, Nzima and Ahanta off into slavery as spoils of war to British slave traders, before himself taken captive by the Dutch when a rival state, and the Dutch defeated his army in battle near Elmina and sold him into slavery, and he ended up in Jamaica. He and his lieutenants planned to take over Jamaica from the British and to create a free and independent state. In April 1760, Tacky and about 100 other enslaved men who all had extensive military training stormed a plantation, killed the overseers, and seized firearms. They captured plantations and gathered followers, swelling to hundreds. After several days of rebellion in St. Mary, Tacky and his fighters retreated into the hills. The British, frustrated by their failure to crush the uprising, called in the Maroons, who by treaty 1739/1740 were obliged to fight against future rebellions. A Maroon marksman reportedly shot and killed Tacky. His head was cut off, placed on a pole, and displayed in Spanish Town as a warning. It was the British, not the Maroons, who cut off Tacky's head and stuck it on a pole. This was a common colonial practice to terrorize the enslaved population after rebellions. In Europe and the colonies, displaying severed heads or bodies was a way to terrorize the public. Example, in England, traitors' heads were stuck on London Bridge for centuries. In Jamaica, rebels' bodies were often displayed after execution, hanged, gibbeted, caged in irons, or heads placed on poles. The British used this tactic widely after slave uprisings to scare others from joining future revolts. After Tacky's death, the revolt didn't die.
Right.
Other rebel groups carried on in Westmoreland, Clarendon, and St. James. For months, rebel groups fought the British militia and Maroons who were forced by treaty to fight against them. By early 17th...
Remember, sugarcane, plantations, the economy was worth all of this back and forward death. All of this back and forth. These fucks had to travel all the way across the ocean just to do this. We're traveling across the ocean to wage war when we can just work something else out.
1861, the revolt was fully crushed after brutal reprisals. Between 1780 to 1786, Duddy Boukman, a key figure in the early stages of the Haitian Revolution, 1791, Boukman was originally enslaved in Jamaica during his youth before being sold to Saint-Domingue, now Haiti. It's highly likely he knew of the Jamaican rebellions, especially Tacky's, as it was recent history during his lifetime. These events would have been part of the oral history and revolutionary consciousness among enslaved Africans. They helped shape a legacy of resistance that Boukman drew upon in sparking the Haitian.
Food for thought. Think about children that grow up in trauma during war and things like this, the colonization, the brutalization of your people. How do these children grow up? What kind of resentment and or mental fatigue do they have for the colonizers and for what they've experienced? Killer. What's good, cuzzo?
Real bad man.
Yeah, man. We learning. We learning today. We always learning something over here.
Revolution. In 1791, Duddy Boukman himself was a voodoo priest, started the Haitian Revolution, and this worried the British about slaves uprising
Haiti, stand
in Jamaica.
up.
The Maroons' existence were seen as a constant threat by the government. In 1795 to 1796, by this time tension grew again. The British accused the Trelawney Town Maroons in western Jamaica of breaking treaty terms. Small disputes spiraled into war, starting the Second Maroon War. The Maroons waged another campaign of ambushes and raids. The British brought in over 5,000 soldiers and even bloodhounds from Cuba. Despite this, the Maroons resisted fiercely. Despite fighting bravely, they were eventually forced to surrender. After months of stalemate, they agreed to surrender in December 1795 under the promise of pardon and return to their lands. The Maroons eventually negotiated, but the British betrayed them. The British decided they were too dangerous to keep in Jamaica. About 550 Trelawney Maroons were tricked by the British in 1796, promised pardon if they surrendered, then accused of breaking the deal, rounded up and deported to Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. It was a mix of broken promises and outright deception. The British thought, if we can't beat them, we'll ship them where it snows. That's like sending island warriors to shovel driveways in Canada. Talk about cruel and unusual punishment. Life there was harsh. Freezing winters, a nightmare for people from tropical mountains, poor treatment and broken promises by the British. Within a few years, the Maroons were demanding relocation. They were misled into thinking it was a temporary exile or resettlement, not a permanent removal. In 1800, the British shipped the same group of Maroons from Nova Scotia to Sierra Leone, West Africa. There they joined the colony of formerly enslaved Africans from Britain and North America. Other Maroon groups remained in Jamaica, keeping their treaties. In 1831, Baptist deacon Sam Sharp led 60,000 enslaved people in a Christmas strike turned rebellion. Sharp organized a peaceful general strike for better working conditions and wages. When the strike was ignored, it turned into full-scale rebellion. About 60,000 enslaved people joined, the largest uprising in Jamaica's history. Cane fields and plantations burned across the island. The British crushed it violently. Over 200 rebels were killed in battle and 300 plus executed afterward, including Sam Sharp. The rebellion shocked Britain. News of the scale and brutality helped push Parliament toward abolishing slavery in 1834.
And it's all for religion. It was all started because in the end, it was religion.
Freedom
and money
came in 1834, full emancipation in 1838. But wages were tiny, famines hit, and hurricanes wrecked crops. The chains were gone, but poverty and injustice remained. In 1845, after slavery was abolished in the British Caribbean colonies, the plantation economy needed a new source of labor. Former enslaved Africans had gained their freedom and were no longer willing to work under the same oppressive conditions. The abolition left a massive labor vacuum, and there was a real concern that the sugar, coffee, and other plantation industries would collapse without sufficient workers. The British looked for a solution that could ensure cheap and reliable labor without the costs of slavery or the social upheaval of granting full citizenship or rights to former slaves. The British chose India and China as the primary sources of indentured labor because they were large, impoverished populations that could be mobilized for labor.
Okay. Social commentary. You guys know this is my social commentary channel, even though this is Soca Sunday. We're going to do some social commentary. I just want to draw a parallel between what is going on currently in the United States with technology jobs, and what is going on, what went on in the past, and how our histories are cyclical, how behaviors of governments are cyclical. Things happen in cycles. Behaviors that we have as humans, we repeat our behaviors. So our governments, the big brothers, right? The Illuminati, the powers that be, right? This cabal, they repeat the same behaviors of exploitation of us. India and China on screen. India and China, big poverty base. What is going on with technology here in the United States and in the West? India and China, a big poverty base. The big poverty base is now being imported as the intellectual right to take over the IT space, instead of the Americans participating as the bulk of that for our nation. Just food for thought. Just thought I would put that out there. There's a lot of news on that. Again, seek knowledge. There's a lot of news on that. Be sure that you are up on your technological knowledge, if that is your career path, okay? Be sure to stay current on all of your certs, and be sure to seek the highest level of knowledge you can in your field to stay on top. There's a lot of competition out there. Business and big empire will always replace you. Okay? Let's go.
Of granting full citizenship or rights to former slaves. The British chose India and China as the primary sources of indentured labor because they were large, impoverished populations that could be mobilized for labor. Many Indians and Chinese saw the indenture system as a way to escape economic hardship. The British were able to tap into this large pool of potential workers who were often desperate for work. While Indians were often used in agricultural work, the British preferred to use Chinese laborers in other industries like mining, railroad construction, and urban labor. Despite early tensions, over the decades, relationships began to change. Some intermarriage occurred, especially between Chinese men and African women, as there were few Chinese women brought to the island. Many descendants of Indian, Chinese, and African heritage intermingled, creating new mixed-race communities. In 1865, preacher Paul Bogle and politician George William Gordon, a mixed-race politician sympathetic to the poor, led the Morant Bay Rebellion against injustice. In October 1865, a man was dragged into court in St. Thomas Parish on a petty land charge. To the people, it was not just one man's case, it was proof that the system was rigged against them. A Baptist deacon named Paul Bogle from the village of Stony Gut had had enough. He gathered his neighbors and said, "Justice does not live in the courthouse. Let us go there and bring it ourselves." On October 11th, Bogle led hundreds of men and women to the Morant Bay Courthouse. Their march was not only for land, it was for dignity. When the militia opened fire on the crowd, killing several, the marchers turned fury into flame. The courthouse was set ablaze, officials attacked, and the rebellion began. For days, the rebels controlled the parish. They struck at plantations and symbols of colonial rule. They had no cannons, no armies, just courage and cutlasses. But courage alone was no match for an empire. The British executed hundreds, including Bogle and Gordon. George William Gordon was also arrested illegally and executed. Brutal, but it lit the path towards self-rule. The governor thought Jamaicans would accept freedom without land or justice. Paul Bogle marched to remind him, freedom without fairness is just another plantation. In 1914, a skilled speaker, printer, and journalist named Marcus Garvey founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association. From early on, he noticed how deeply racism and colonialism shaped the lives of Black people worldwide. His message? Black pride, self-reliance, and unity across the world. From Harlem to Kingston, his words carried like drumbeats across the diaspora. In 1929, Garvey founded the People's Political Party, the island's first. He demanded land reform, better wages, and schools, radical ideas in a colony built on inequality. Garvey's voice faded by the 1930s, but his message grew louder in the hands of others. Strikes, riots, and protests erupted across Jamaica. Out of the fire rose new leaders, Alexander Bustamante and Norman Manley, who carried the march toward independence. In the 1930s, labor unrest shook the island again. Out of strikes rose leaders, Bustamante, fiery and bold, Manley, calm and strategic. Together, they built unions and political parties, pushing Britain toward independence. Bustamante gave the speeches. Manley drew the blueprints. Britain realized they were outnumbered by brains and ballots. On August 6, 1962, Jamaica became the first country in the Caribbean to gain independence from British colonial rule. From Queen Nani's mountains to Sam Sharp's gallows, from Bogle's march to Bustamante's rallies, Jamaica's story is one of struggle, survival, and triumph. The Maroons kept their autonomy for centuries and still maintain unique communities in Jamaica today, like Moortown, Accompong, and Charlestown. The Maroons proved that enslaved and free Africans could outsmart and outfight an empire.
Let's go, Jamaica. Let's go. Janessa Coleman, how you doing, sis? All right, we got Island Revolts. I just popped in the chat again for everybody. Go check out Island Revolts. Get your knowledge on. And be sure to always check your sources. Always check your sources, okay? Nothing is true. Everything is permitted, y'all. Y'all have heard me say it a million times over here. All right? Okay, so we got some research to do for research purposes. We got some researching to do. Gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, I never want to discount or exclude anybody. It's all equal here, all equality. Everybody can enjoy the sights and sounds. Little rum in my cup. Woman and a woman and a woman and a rum, as always. So let's see. The first thing we have to discuss, and Cuzzo, Trend, if you're still out there, the first thing we got to discuss, and this is going to sound crazy, is KFC. Is chicken. Is KFC. That's the first thing we're going to have to discuss, folks. All right? There is an ongoing war across the Caribbean for who fries and prepares the best KFC chicken. This is a very, very, very real thing. This is an inter-island conflict, ladies and gentlemen. An inter-island conflict around Carnival season. The stakes are high. The stakes are high. Don't be caught at a festival or a fete when the DJ stops the music and the DJ asks the crowd, who makes the best KFC? The crowd will explode in riot. In a riot. So right now we have the top contenders as being, I do believe, A battle between the giants of the Caribbean, Trinidad and Jamaica. Believe it or not, that's right. Trinidad and Jamaica, KFC battle for the ages. Every time I see the debate across social media, it's always Trini versus Jamaica. I'd like to say St. Lucia is in that list somewhere. I don't think we're even top 5, but that being said, when you go to the islands, you need to partake in experiencing KFC. It hits a little bit different. It is a real thing. BDBGP, bro. How you doing? Happy Sunday, brother. Happy Sunday. We're just chilling. We on the full spectrum tip tonight. We on the culture, the knowledge, the entertainment. We doing it all tonight. We went the full journey, the full gamut. We having fun this afternoon. We having fun. Thank you very much to all of you who are here. Team Replay, from the very beginning till now, please, please, please enjoy the show. Hit the like if you're new. If you're a cloud watcher, subscribe. Hit the little bell icon so that you get the little reminders. Make sure it says subscribed. All right. So I think some people may be confused, but choice is yours, as always. And Janesta, it's good to see you, sis. All right. So first things first. Let's put a pause on the music. First things first. KFC.
I feel for woman and a woman and a woman and a rum and a woman and a woman and a rum and a woman 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 and a rum and a woman and a woman and a rum and a woman and a woman and a woman and a woman and a woman. I can't behave myself. All when I jump in with the friends, I can't behave myself. Soon as the music hit there, I can't behave myself. Go on the back and
I am not sponsored. I'm sponsored, pardon me, correction. This show is produced by all my hoes demonetized, Mr. JP. All right, he is the producer of Soca Sunday, first and foremost.
Real bad man.
But I am not sponsored by any brand. KFC did not sponsor this show, but this is absolutely hilarious. They did a whole commercial for Jamaican Carnival in unison with Exodus Carnival Band. So... And don't forget, each band has multiple different costumes, multiple different trucks. So this big band, in unison with collaboration with KFC, I love it. I can't. Only in the Caribbean, you guys. Only in the Caribbean. Now tell me that's not a lit KFC commercial. I want some KFC right now. Do the girls come with it? Do I get like a prize with the box of chicken? I get a Carnival girl and just put her in the seat next to me in the car. Come on. What are we doing? KFC. All right. Next up. All right. Look. Those of you who are here for Soca Sunday last week, and y'all already know, right? At the end of each montage is my queen. All right. Each week I got a new bae. I'm a single man. I have needs. Okay. I have needs. At the end of each week, I go through my collection of goodies. Shout out to all the creators on the IG. I do shout y'all out, and I do have y'all linked in a lot of the descriptions and stuff. And I'll put your little thing up on the montage, your little logo and your little avatar and everything. So shout out to y'all, the creators. I don't want to be one of them content creators to just steal people's content. I ain't on that bullshit. So here's the deal. At the end of my montage for Soca Sunday, there's always one of my girlfriends. Carolina was my girlfriend last week. And she just popped up again. She said, "Hey, boyfriend." I said, "What's up, girl?" She said, "I'm going to show you what I'm doing in Jamaica." I said, "Okay, girl, let's show the people what you're doing in Jamaica." So we had a whole conversation, of course, right? No, not really. But we had the whole conversation. And here she is to tell us all about her experience in Jamaica. Let's hang out with Carolyn for a little. We're getting ready with her today.
Hi guys, it's the morning of Carnival. It's also 6 a.m. and your girl is tired. So yeah.
Queen, how you doing, sis?
Let's go get our hair and makeup done.
She is adorable.
I look cute. Don't tell nobody about my services there, and I look at my hair chic.
Hold on, gentlemen. Look at the hair. Look at the hair. Look at the makeup artist. Look at the hairstylist. What are we doing? What are you doing?
I had so much anxiety, y'all. I am happy. Literally happy, and I know it's gonna stay. So, yeah. You guys, my makeup is
Lord of mercy.
like just look good.
Sail out by the truck with the girl them up on the top. Play. Yeah, with me drinks all the makeup with the girl them winding it up and play. Oh Lord, yes I'm a road man. Oh yes I am a road man. And every year me program to take me and me work and go on. Stay. Hey, farmer, see your messages. I promise.
I don't know if that's day 1 or day 2. And then it wraps around both corners. It just goes this way, it goes that way. What are we doing? That's great. I'm good, Queen. How you doing? I'm chilling. We chilling together, y'all. We about to we winding down Soca Sunday, but we taking a look at what everybody's doing over in Jamaica for now. We started out with the montage. We're gonna end with IG, seeing what these crazy people are up to. So this is, I'm trying to figure out which band they were in together. There you go, ladies. We got a 50-50, we got 50-50 shots here. One little bit for the gentlemen, little bit for the ladies, right? Let's go. Trying to see which band that is. Didn't we had a shorty from that band in the montage at the beginning? Carnival nails. Gentlemen, I'm sure I picked this for reasons, but her nails are beautiful. Her nails are absolutely beautiful. Oh, so are her nails. Look at those nails. Gentlemen. It's all about the nails, you know. Nothing else, not the costume or what the costume's holding back. I don't know. We might need to watch this again for research purposes, gentlemen. My goodness. Gentlemen. Yeah, Queen of Vibes, you caught on to it, huh? Those cans are canning. Gentlemen. And as you see, gents, we looking at the dumplings and the yams all day. There's there was no shortage of those. Okay. Next up, we got costumes. So look at this, just look at the sheer number of costumes these folks are transporting around, setting up. You know, like depending on the package that the ladies get with their costume, if they get the high-end costume package or the low-end costume package, you either get a box or you get like the bag with all the goodies and everything built with inside of it. So there's different tiers, right? Different tiers to your costumes. Look at that. So they'll do delivery. they'll do delivery for you. So they even have companies that'll do this for Carnival. It's crazy. That's awesome. Carnival Glam Hub. Shout outs. Shout outs. Nightbot is Nightbotting. You go, girl. So please, everybody, subscribe to all the channels. I don't know why she's drunk. She's doubling up. Maybe it's because of the two different channels. Anyway, Nightbot is Nightbotting.
Yeah. Feel that chat now. Yeah. Shonda Paul.
Follow all the links.
So then, well, I don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them want do. Still, I got to stick to my girls like glue. And I might not play no.
Okay. More Carnival, Jamaica.
Need a lot of trees up in my head. Had a lot of dental in my bed to run that real.
Lord of mercy. What are we doing now? Your boy C.I.P. is, I told you, my IG is unholy. Let's see what we're doing. It's got to be a get ready with me.
IG ready, Snapchat ready. Put on a stink face. Wind your bumper for the camera. Wind your bumper for the camera. Bend it over in the camera. In the camera. In the camera. Angle it, angle it, angle it, girl. Tilt it. Your camera ready.
Gentlemen.
Real bad man.
Gentlemen. Should we keep her for next week? Should we keep her for next week? I think she's a contender for the girlfriend of the week, y'all. It's just too much going on. Too much going on in the Caribbean right now. I'm not removing that bookmark just yet. I'm not removing that bookmark just yet. So we're gonna hold on to that one. All right, Jamaica's Carnival came from Trinidad. Trinidad's came from a riot. Let's go. Let's see what they're talking about here. I bookmarked this. Music.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah. Shonda Paul. So me go so then. Well, I don't really care what people say. I don't really watch what them want do. Still, I got to stick to my girls.
What Trinidad actually gave the world. Carnival is European masses, not. Pre-Lenten festivals came to the Caribbean with French and Spanish settlers in the late 18th century. Masks, elite balls, indulgence before fasting. What Trinidad did was different. After full emancipation on August 1st, 1838, freed Africans took the French Mardi Gras into the streets and fused it with African drumming, stick fighting, and cane burning called cambrûlé. When the colonial police tried to ban drums and torches in 1881, riot. That was the moment Carnival became black working class and Trinidadian tradition. Carnival first appeared in Jamaica in the late 1940s, not at Halfway Tree, not at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies, where EC students, Eastern Caribbean students, mostly Trinidad, recreated their festival. So in the 1940s, a bunch of Trinidadians crept up to Jamaica and said, "Hey, yo, we about to party." It was a student thing, and then it blew up. Byron Lee had been touring Trinidad Carnival since the early 70s. By 89, he brought it to Port of Spain. He put it on Easter weekend, make the uptown crowd play mas. The first Jamaican Carnival was staged on the 22nd of April, 1990, around Constant Spring Road and Halfway Tree. Hundreds of thousands turned out. In his own words to the Caribbean Beat, Jamaica did not have carnival culture, so the commercial end had to be imposed to the people, his phrase. It wasn't what the market was demanding, it was a product being sold to a skeptical audience. Women in Jamaica, he said, didn't know how to play mas, he had to teach them. The festival that now pulls celebrities to Kingston every Easter started as a foreign idea being cajoled into life. The early 1970s Trinidad artist Lord Shorty, born Garfield Blackman, watched young audiences abandon calypso for reggae coming out of Kingston. He invented soca to hold the line. Nyla Blackman's granddad Calypso rhythms fused with Indo-Caribbean instruments like the dolak, tabla, and dantal. He spelt it soca to flag the Indian influence. You see how this all fits together? Jamaica exported the pressure. In 1973, the track Indrani is now considered the first soca recording. Now that's interesting. So, in the late 1990s, a new Trinidadian genre emerges. Reggae soca, soca rhythms, Jamaican dancehall vocal delivery. And we have individuals like Bunji Garlin. He's almost a fusion of Trinidadian rhythms and Jamaican linguistics. All right, next up, I'm gonna hold on to that. Another Get Ready With Me. What is happening? Oh, she adorable. She is absolutely adorable. Got me attracted to the shape of your frame. Let me introduce you to my group on my fame. No, don't get it twisted. I'm just being plain. Wanna stay in your mind with lyrics and get in your generals. If you got the time, here comes a train. Baby, let me know if you're down with my game. Cause I just got paid and I got a little money to burn. Alright then, okay then. I gotta get laid. Jamaica was on fire this year, you guys. I'm telling you, Jamaica and Trinidad, like no other. I'm not dissing St. Lucia. We're going to talk when St. Lucia comes around. But the gal farm on Trini and Jamaica, ridiculous. So this is Exodus Carnival. So as always, the bands, right?
Open it like a Red Sea, I get part. Stop it and take it anywhere the car park. You are the general, you never fast start. Bravo, see what push them, your man a push a hand cat.
Bounce with the gal. Move with the gal. Wine pan it, gal. Take time pan it, gal. Gal outside.
You know, salute to the cameraman. I think that's fair to say. Salute to the cameraman. I mean, the guy is ridiculous. It's fun. It's fun. I gotta say, salute to me too. Salute to your boy C.I.P. too. It is definitely fun. I'm jonesing. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make St. Lucia, make it back there. Not sure about this close for making a decision. But in July, but in October, I might be doing Miami again. Miami's a good roundup for the end of the year. All right. Next up. Just doesn't stop. What's this? More Exodus. I think more Exodus. Yes. Oh, Suleiman. Okay. So as I mentioned before about the IG content creators, excuse me, Suleiman, this dude, he is epic. He is epic. The footage that he captures from Carnival. Also, too, ladies, you know, if it's your thing, you know, this gentleman might be up your alley. So anyway, the footage he captures, phenomenal. So they had a bunch of dudes spotting for cheer tricks. So they had guys spotting and they were tossing up participants. They were doing splits. They were doing flips. It was awesome. And our boy Suleiman caught him. He caught a lot of different action shots. Absolutely epic. This was Crop Over Radio, St. Martin based Suleiman, of course. Where was he at? Jamaican Carnival. I'm just trying to see if they specify if it was an event or just random. I think it's just random. Woo, girl. Look at that form, gentlemen. You know what? Can we... Where's your... Right here. Let's go. Shout out Suleiman. See, there you go, ladies. If that's your thing, you know what I'm saying? There's the gentleman right there. Yeah, he is solid. He is solid with it. I definitely check out his work when he's on the road. He captures some. I mean, he got a front row seat because he's just positioned himself during these festivals and whatnot with the bands. So he got a front row seat to this, which is great. Yeah, it's probably his whole bread and butter, man. There he is. Oh, was this Miami? Miami? Oh, throwback. Okay. He says throwback. So what the hell is going on in Miami? All right, let's see, folks. From Trinidad to Jamaica. See, these people are insane. I love it. Yeah, Big Daddy says, my eyes are so grateful for everything you're showing me, but my old self would have a heart attack down there. Nah, we'd have fun, bro. We about the same age. We'd have fun. Yeah, check out this band. This is lit. It looks like jeans, but it's sparkly. Yeah, Jamaica looks like they had a lot of fun. I didn't do any research on any overall recaps of the parades, the main parade of the bands or anything down there. Maybe we'll go back. Maybe we'll spend some more time in Jamaica. And that's a whole pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just six gorgeous women. Jamaica. Look, I do not disappoint, gentlemen. Well, the algorithm doesn't disappoint. Not Bumper Patrol. I need that vest. I need that vest. I need to be on the Bumper Patrol. Gentlemen, Bumper Patrol will be taking applicants before we depart for the trips to the various carnivals around the world. I think Bumper Patrol should be an absolute prerequisite. For research purposes, gentlemen, we gather video like this. It's strictly for research purposes. We want to make sure that we are mentally prepared for when we again depart for carnival adventures. Miss Sarah, having fun in Jamaica. 10 out of 10. Exodus Carnival. So let's see, who filmed on this? Who filmed this one? No, this wasn't Suli. Okay. Extreme Arts. Now I thought for a minute I had some other stuff mixed in from Trinidad Carnival, but I think we good. So far it's all been Jamaica. They can't behave in Jamaica either. That's crazy. Kaya Behave is going to be the carnival theme everywhere. Not Jamaica Spider-Man. Lord of mercy, to look at me, to look at me, to look at the wicked, and if I DJ come out, just some get Johnny's done so don't trust back. I go and bossy, so get some get tell we can make it, some get a sound, will be I am Gamazolando, see the payment. If I drone work. Brought to you by Extreme Arts. Salute to them for the videography. Let me 6 days ago, she was breaking the shores of Jamaica. That's Shensia, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. That's Shensia, a native. If you don't know, now you know. I had another one. I thought I had another one I shouldn't see. Where did it go? Maybe not. But she showed out, of course. I mean, that's her motherland. So, naturally, she was on trucks. All right, y'all. What we're about to do is we're about to wrap it up. Big Daddy. See, there we go. Even Mo told you can handle it, bro. All you got to do is get your cardio on. You got to get your cardio on, bro. That's the main thing. Because they're going to drive you crazy dancing and whining on you. That's where the heart attack would happen. When they start twisting and whining on you, it's game over. So you got to get your cardio going. You got to get your hula hoop. You got to learn the hula hoop again. Then you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You'll survive a couple minutes. Yo, truth be told, I was on the cruise, and it was soca. It was Latin soca night at the nightclub, and there was a young lady there, a younger lady, who was in her 20s. But there was a younger lady there, and she was one of them ones where her family has to like put a leash around her, like you need to come back over here because you acting wild right now. And she was acting wild, and it was her birthday, and she was choosing. So long story short, so while she was whining on me, somebody walked by me and goes, "Don't let that little girl hurt you." She didn't. It was good. It was all good. It was all good. We was whining to the ground. We was whining back up. It was all good. It was all good. Big Natty, you'll be fine. That TLDR, TMI, Big Natty, you'll be fine, bro. You'll be fine. You might accidentally stumble upon 18 years of child support down there. That's guaranteed. That is absolutely guaranteed. That's guaranteed. You got to move real careful and strap up. Strap up. 18-year specials. They come with the package, bro. If they into you, if they into you, they into you, bro. Woo. Love does exist in some places still. Passion does still exist in some places around the world. So be aware. You very well may wind up with an 18-year special. Your boy C.I.P. is planning very, very carefully before he dips into the waters, so to speak. Boy, let me tell you. Yeah, man. But that covers everything for Soca Sunday today, y'all. That's my show for today. I think we had a good time. I'm going to recap, I think, Jamaica. And we're going to leave Jamaica, and then we're going to head somewhere else, maybe back to St. Lucia. As always, I always have the St. Lucia stuff at the beginning. So I'll find a way to rearrange it. We leave Jamaica, stop in St. Lucia, then go from St. Lucia somewhere else, maybe to Trinidad, maybe to St. Martin. We got a bunch of different islands, a bunch of different things to explore. Heck, then again, we may just stay in Jamaica for a minute and just hang out and learn some more about their history. Learn more about the beautiful ladies that are going to give Big Natty a heart attack out here. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. So, yes, today we talked about the Carnival Caribbean Queen recipient, Miss Emily from St. Lucia. Our Carnival Queen actually won the higher award in esteem. Then we talked about a little bit about the language, the Creole language. Go pick up your copies if you're so interested. Go pick up your copies. Written by the beautiful Swar Smith. Okay? If you're Lucian, you already know. If you're diaspora and you don't know, now you know. All right? Go pick up your books. They are available on Amazon. What else? Jamaican history. Man, that was some crazy stuff. Let me tell you, I did not know about the Canada, and I did not know about the Maroons and how their history really, really shaped the resilience of the island of Jamaica. Y'all, as always, thank you so much for being here with your boy C.I.P. I'm here to share this with you. It's my hobby. I love sharing these each and every Sunday with the help of Mr. JP, Mr. All My Hoes Demonetized, as he goes by so nobly in these YouTube streets. I bring you, he's our producer, so we bring you these wonderful shows to share this culture, knowledge, and entertainment. Your boy C.I.P. is on the way to get monetized, baby monetized, but nonetheless, 580 some subscribers. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here with me. This is why we're here together, to learn a little bit of something, right? Have a little fun together and listen to some good music. Some good music, all right? Until I get that that monetization, your boy CIP is going to be skating the arena of the copyright and, you know, but we're going to be having fun in the meantime, right? We're going to have some fun. Big Natty says, I didn't get to watch much of the show, but good job, bro. Keep it up. You know that Sim Racing had me in a chokehold. Big Natty, that Sim Racing, I'm completely distracted, bro, by that. If I'm not looking at the baddies in the islands, I'm looking at some sim racing and other things, right? I got business to handle too. But bro, the sim racing has me in a mental chokehold. Like every time I get behind the wheel of a car, even in something stupid like Cyberpunk, I'm like, this ain't it. Like I need a racing rig. I got some things, I got some irons on the fire. So I got some stuff I'm working on, right? I got other priorities. I also have to offload a ton of collectibles and items. So I have to make room for a new hobby. But let me tell you what, bro, we're going to stay in touch because I'm going to be picking up one of them rigs real soon. Real soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And Team Replay, like you said, Big Daddy, you didn't catch much of the show. Go back, bro. Go back, catch the beginning. The opening montages are always where the great entertainment is at the beginning. Those of you who like to get your cardio on and like some good music, of course, I provided that throughout the entire show, and especially in the intro. Y'all, that's it. Peace. Nothing is true and everything is permitted. Y'all know the spiel. Get out there and don't limit yourself, right? Experience more of life. Don't be afraid. All right, that's the main thing. Don't be afraid. Your reality is subjective to what you choose to explore. Don't be afraid to explore. It's an excellent experience. It's an excellent experience, and it's inspiring. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful Sunday. I'd say get outside and enjoy the weather, but here it's about 40 degrees. If that's your thing, enjoy it. Otherwise, it's going to warm up later in the week. If you got warm weather and beautiful skies, get outside and enjoy it, my people. All right? Peace. I love you, each and every one. Music.
Can I shake that thing, miss? Can I shake that thing, miss? And I better shake that thing, yeah. Donna, Jody and Rebecca, woman get busy. Just shake that booty non-stop when the beat drop. Just keep swinging it, get jiggy, get crunked up, percolate anything you want. Because it's oscillating if I don't take pity. Want to see you get life on the rhythm of my ride. And my lyrics up about electricity. Girl, nobody can do you nothing because you don't know your destiny. Yo, sexy ladies want power with us. In the car with us, them not war with us. In the club, them want flex with us. To get next with us, them can't vex with us. From the day my bonds, I ignite my flame. Girl, I call my name and it is my fame. It's all good, girl, turn me on till I earn them on. Let's get it on, let's get it on till I earn them on. Girl, it's all good, just turn me on. Girl, don't sweat it, don't get agitated. Girl, go and rotate, cause anything you want, you know you must get it. Coming in my mention, don't ease the tension. Girl, run the program, just go and fit it. Yo, have a good time,